here is every villain confirmed and rumoured for Spider-Man Brand New Day so far. And trust me, when you really look at it, there is a lot of them. So let's get started, shall we? In the first section of this video, we're going to be going through all of the confirmed villains that are going to be appearing in this movie. And later on in the video, we'll look at some of the rumoured ones and some of the mystery characters that may be appearing in this movie. So you're going to want to stick around to make sure to find out who that could be. But for now, let's go through the confirmed villains in this film. First and foremost, we've got to talk about Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. But Lewis, Bruce Banner, the Hulk, he's a good guy, right? Well, maybe not in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, you see, this is already kind of a rumor, but we already know Hulk is confirmed to be appearing in this movie. However, all of the speculation, all of the rumors, all of the reports point to the Hulk being the Savage Hulk. Obviously, in the MCU at this moment in time, he is currently Professor Hulk, which is the sort of amalgamation of Bruce Banner and the Hulk into one sort of mind and body. However, in Spider-Man Brand New Day, it has been rumored that he will transform into the Savage Hulk, which is more along the lines of the original Hulk from the Edward Norton movies. So it looks like he's going to regress back into that monstrous version of the character that a lot of people know and love. How, you may ask? Well, we'll get to that a little bit later, because another villain that has been rumored to be in this movie may play a massive part in Bruce Banner turning into the Savage Hulk. The second villain that has been confirmed for this movie is kind of not a villain, he's more of an anti-hero, but it is of course Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. Now, the reason why I have included him in this villain list here is because no doubt during the movie, Spider-Man and the Punisher will be at odds. There will be a conflict between these two characters, so it's only right to assume that the Punisher will be an antagonist at some point in the movie. From what they're going to be coming into conflict over, we've got no idea. I can only assume it might have something to do with their moral values over killing or something like that, because that seems to be a moral value depicted in the comic books before between the two characters, so I can only assume that might be adapted here. The third villain, which is confirmed for this movie, and the first proper Spider-Man villain, is of course Michael Mando's Mac Gargan, aka the Scorpion. Now, this one really makes me smile because we have been waiting for this for so long. Now, if you have missed it, yes, this is 100% confirmed. Michael Mando has actually took to Instagram, teasing his return as the character as well, posting things like this, which I think is really, really awesome, and it gets me really excited to see him in this movie. Now, what role will the Scorpion play in Spider-Man Brand New Day? Personally, I've got no idea. And the reason why I don't really have an idea is because of one of the villains we're going to mention next. But before we get to that, I just want to mention, personally, I think the Scorpion will have a smaller role in this movie than people might expect. I think people are thinking, oh my god, it's the Scorpion. It's been so long since we've seen this character. Of course, him appearing in the post-credit scene of Spider-Man Homecoming, teasing him coming back to be a main villain in the future. And I think people are going, okay, well, this is his time, right? He's going to be a main villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day, and he's finally going to fight Peter Parker. Well, personally, I don't think so. I think they're reintroducing Scorpion here because I think at some point down the line, they want to make him Venom. Now, this is just a personal theory of mine, but I don't think he's going to be the main villain of this movie. There's been multiple leaks and there's been multiple rumors about the Venom symbiote showing up in this brand new college trilogy. And with Secret Wars right around the corner, the place where Peter Parker got the symbiote in the first place from the comics, it's just a no-brainer to have this version of Spider-Man get the black suit. Having Tom Holland's Spider-Man face off against his own version of Venom would be absolutely awesome. Now, some of you guys may be saying, well, where is Eddie Brock? Is he getting introduced? But the thing is, we've just had Tom Hardy's Venom movies, so we're not going to get another Eddie Brock Venom anytime soon. But who else has been Venom in the comics? That's right, Mac Gargan, aka the Scorpion. So that's what I think's going on here. I don't think he's going to be a big villain, but I think he might potentially have a small part to play in this movie because they are going to use him as Venom in the future, possibly after Secret Wars, possibly in Spider-Man 5 or 6. But either way, those are the confirmed villains to be in this movie. Now let's move on to section 2, which is more of the rumored and speculative villains, ones that carry a lot of mystery with them and ones that could add a little spice to Brand New Day. And the first one that I'm going to mention, and you guys have probably seen this coming the entire video after everything I've just mentioned, it is of course Mr. Negative and the inner demons. Now, moving back to what I said about Savage Hulk, essentially the way Hulk could become the Savage Hulk is through the mind manipulation of Mr. Negative's superpowers. We know Mr. Negative has the ability to infiltrate people's minds. Now, people might be thinking, Lewis, this is just highly speculative. There's no evidence that Mr. Negative is in this movie, right? Well, actually, you'd be wrong there, because there is a lot of evidence. The first piece of evidence I want to point to is actually the story itself. We know Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be heavily psychological on Peter Parker. After the end of No Way Home, Peter Parker is alone. No one knows who he is. People only know Spider-Man. And I think the whole mind control thing sort of fits in with that theme, don't you think? Well, that's the first piece of evidence. The second piece of evidence is actually very physical. In Glasgow, when they did their first week of filming, there was actually a convoy truck with a Inner Demon logo spotted on the side, which means the Inner Demons are probably gonna be in this movie. And if the Inner Demons are in this movie, then Mr. Negative probably follows suit. And people have been saying that Mr. Negative would be a great villain for this point in time for Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and I couldn't agree more. And it looks like the writers and Kevin Feige and everyone at Sony and Marvel seem to think the same if this set photo is to be true. Now, of course, just like Scorpion, Mr. Negative could be teased in this movie and potentially could show up later down the line. As we know, he is a part of the underground crime world of New York, and now it seems with Spider-Man tying into the Punisher and the Daredevil stuff that potentially it's going to lean more on that street level underground crime family storylines, that maybe Mr. Negative just shows up later down the line. He doesn't actually show up yet, maybe like I mentioned about Scorpion. I don't know, but it seems to be heavily in favor that Mr. Negative will be in this movie, and if he is, that is going to be absolutely awesome. Speaking of the Magic Crime Family and crime families in New York, 3 other major villains that have been potentially rumored to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day are of course the Kingpin, Tombstone, and Hammerhead. Now, I decided to lump these all in the same category because I think I'd just say the same thing about all of them. They're all sort of tied to that street level Spidey story, and that's why they've been so heavily rumored over the past couple of years. Kingpin especially. However, Vincent D'Onofrio, the actor who plays Kingpin, has actually actively come out and said he knows nothing about him showing up in Spider-Man 4. So I don't think that's going to be on the cards, despite how much it was rumored after No Way Home came out. Multiple industry insiders claiming that Kingpin is nailed on for this movie, and now it seems like he isn't. But that doesn't mean he isn't in the future, but it sort of seems like he won't be. Tombstone, however, has been heavily rumored to be in this movie, and recent reports have actually linked Tremel Tillman to play the character in the film. As for Hammerhead, that's just been another name that's been thrown about, and I don't really know how much validity that has to it. I couldn't find any rumor or any leak or any source that suggests that he wholeheartedly will be in this movie, but it's just a name that people like to throw about. The next villain who potentially might be in Spider-Man Brand New Day is the Rhino. During the first week of filming for Spider-Man Brand New Day in Glasgow, it was actually spotted that Tom Holland, or a stunt double, was as Spider-Man swinging through the city with an outline of what looks like an animal attached to a truck during a chase sequence. Now, what other animal-based Spider-Man villain would be a part of a chase sequence? That is, of course, the Rhino. Now, this is actually rumored to be a part of a montage during the start of the film, which shows the last few years of Peter Parker's life battling different classic Spider-Man villains. Now, if the Rhino is actually in this movie, and if this is anything to go by, it looks like he will be, it probably will only be for like 30 seconds or so. So I won't get too worked up about this, but that's cool if we get to see Rhino in this movie. That'd be absolutely awesome. The last 2 villains that I'm going to mention in this rumored section are Tarantula and Boomerang. Now, Tarantula and Boomerang have also been rumored very, very recently after all of these reports about Mr. Negative and Rhino have come out as well. And that is from Daniel RPK, who is an industry insider who's gotten a lot right with Spider-Man stuff before. I'm not saying he's completely reliable, like make sure to take this with a pinch of salt, but Daniel RPK has been right about a lot of Spider-Man stuff before, and he claims that Boomerang and the Tarantula will be villains in this film as well. To what extent their roles will play, we're not too sure at this point in time. However, he does say that they won't be the main villains of the film, also stating that the Scorpion, like we mentioned earlier, also won't be the main villain of the film. He also goes on to say that the main villain of the movie will actually be someone that fans don't expect. And that was all sort of lumped in with the same report. And that all just really ties back into the Mr. Negative stuff that I said earlier. Personally, if Tarantula and Boomerang are in this movie, I suspect they'll either be probably henchmen like Shocker was in Spider-Man Homecoming, or they'll be a part of that montage that's rumored to be a part at the start of the film, which includes that Rhino chase sequence. Either way, they'd be cool villains to see in live action for maybe half a minute or so if we do get to see them in the montage, or they would be cool as henchmen, I don't really know. But either way, that is pretty much it. Those are all the villains that are confirmed and rumored currently so far for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I know that's a lot of characters, and some of them of course won't appear, but even so, there's a lot of evidence for the majority of those characters. I didn't just throw random ones in there because that's a theory. I did handpick them and pick them based off evidence, and there's quite a lot of them. Let me know in the comment section down below what's a villain that you'd love to see in Brand New Day, and are you excited for this amount of villains? Make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with Spider-Man Brand New Day and all Spider-Man updates, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and peace.